Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of the Consistent Performance Podcast. My name is Kilian Markert, and today we're going to talk about how you can scale your business to high six or seven figures or even beyond that without burning yourself out. And so, if you're an agency owner, if you're a consultant or service provider, or even if your business is more like an e-commerce business and this whole seven figures, six figures is not that relevant for you, the question is, how can you reach the next level in your business, but do so without sacrificing the things outside of business that are health, relationships, but also your own well-being? And on the other hand, of course, grow your business the most efficient and effective way possible without time waste and without lots of stress involved either. There's a lot of great advice out there, right? What people tell you depending on what stage you're at. Let's imagine you're at a stage where you're not a beginner anymore, you made around six figures in your business. And so now the next step would be to say, hey, scale to mid six and then high six figures and then seven figures in your business, whether it's an agency, consulting business. And it applies also similarly for lots of e-commerce businesses as well. The question is, okay, what are the next steps, right? And usually at this stage, you're either have a few assistants or a small team, or you just still yourself and you're starting to hire more and more people. And you realize, yes, I cannot do everything myself. I need a couple of things. I need systems, I need processes, and I need to hire and delegate. All right. So once you know what you're doing is working, you're getting results with the service that you're providing, with the offer that you're providing, then the question is, how can you make sure this is put into a repeatable process, into an SOP, and then also systematized for people and automatized as well? Plus, how can you get people on board who take over part of that? You can only do so much in terms of your own performance, right, to be more efficient with your time. Of course, you can duplicate yourself if you get more people on board. So that's something you should never underestimate, that hiring is an important next step. However, and here's the big however, a lot of guys, they hear about this and it's all common sense, right? You should hire, you should build processes, and you should systematize your business more and more. The problem, however, is if it was that easy, a lot of people would be doing it and everybody would be crushing it. But a lot of people stay stuck at this point. Why is that? It's a combination of two things. It's one thing, mindset, that you think, these things can't be outsourced. I should do this by myself. Also, fears are holding you back. Can I hire? Where do I find people? Are they good for my business? And other things are also that you are still stuck at that stage because you think, yeah, that's fine, that's comfortable, and maybe the growth is more frightening for you, right? It's something new and it's scary, and then you might be even procrastinating because you're afraid of success. These are the mindset blockages. On the other hand, of course, even if someone tells you, hey, you should hire, you should do this, do that, and so forth, here comes again the performance into play. If you are not performing well every single day, and if you, for example, are directly distracted and you're stuck in the operations, you're stuck in social media, you're also not energized and you're not focused every day, then you will simply not, quote unquote, find the time to work on those important tasks, because you're always getting distracted, you always procrastinate on these things, and it takes forever until you get that finally done. What are these tasks? Well, as we said, actually hiring people, training people, writing that post, onboarding them, doing the system, setting up the SOPs, writing those SOPs, setting up automation, setting up certain flow charts where you understand how the business operates and what are the systems and processes you should be implementing. These are tasks which are challenging. You have to concentrate, sit down for those, and make sure that they set up properly, as opposed to email checking or checking Slack or working on the operations in the business. It's probably less challenging. And that's why a lot of people, they jump into these tasks first, and these other tasks, which would be necessary to grow the business and systematize it, they fall short. And that is why you think that you need to hustle more, hustle harder, work more to grow the business. But it's actually, you need to work on the right things. You need to work smart. So how do you work smart? Well, first of all, you need a combination of a couple of things. On the one hand, you need the business strategy. which you usually get from business strategy related mentorships, programs, and so forth, where they teach you, hey, for your consulting business, for your agency, for the business you're in, this is a strategy to grow to the next level. However, the second pillar is the actual execution. And that is where people don't teach you necessarily in these strategy programs, right? They don't necessarily tell you how to structure your day, how to work efficiently, how to be focused, how to be energized, how to sleep well, how to eat well, so that you actually energize and all that good stuff. That's what we do. That's what we're doing in the consistent performance mentoring program. And so this is super important, because if that is not on track, if you're not focused, you're not energized, you will not manage your time properly so that you're actually able to consistently work on the needle moving tasks that you know you should do to grow the business to 7 figures. There's a lot of things involved. There's hiring, delegation, there's maybe paid ads, there's organic marketing, there's depending on the strategy you're using, there's lots of things you have to do, which are not in the operations anymore. And so it requires you to become the best leader you can be, so that when you got new people on board, you're also showing up as a great example for the new team that you're building, and you're creating this great culture in the company. So it's not you anymore, it's a smaller team that you're building step by step. Okay. And the third thing is, apart from the execution and the strategy, is also character traits. And that is close in line with the mindset. The question, for example, how do you deal with setbacks? How do you deal with fear? How do you deal with worries? How do you deal with anxiety? A lot of people don't talk about this, right? But that's very common in entrepreneurship, right? Especially when things are new. You're afraid. You're like, I have to do new things. And you're like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? You overthink a lot at night. So becoming better at letting go of things, that is key. And that is also related to good habits. If you have good habits in your day, for example, meditation or journaling or other good things that help you shut off in the evening after work, it's going to make it so much more likely that you have more balance in your day, and so that you recover properly at the end of the day, and then are more recharged, more focused, more energized, more clear the next day when you get back on track, right? And these character traits, they are being built by habits. They are being built by also shifts in your mindset, and they shift your identity, the way you're seeing yourself. So habits and routines and structure in your day reinforces the person you're becoming. Because of repetition, you're starting to mold the self-image that you basically embody. And so these are the 3 elements. Don't forget this, that yes, you can have all the best strategy in the world, and you might be able to get to 7 figures. There's probably a lot of people who have achieved this, to get to 7 figures without the other 2 pillars. But the question is it sustainable? Have they gotten there and stayed there long term? And the other question is, how have they gotten there? Have they gotten there just with the expense of sacrificing their health, their well-being, relationships, other things important to them? Or is it for you just about the financial result, and you don't really care about the areas, right? So very often this is only achievable with a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hustle, if you do neglect the consistent performance and the character traits side of things. So that's super important to think about this. And I would totally recommend you to set yourself up properly, which makes sure that you get the right habits in place right from the start, so that your personality and character traits foundation is set. And then it's not only you're growing in your business, you're growing as a person, you're growing your whole life, and you're able to enjoy also the success that you built for yourself along the way. Hope that made sense for you guys. If you have any questions on these points, shoot me a message either on Facebook or book a consultation call on kilianmarkert.com. You will find that also in the description of this here. And then we can discuss how that would be applying for you and come up with a game plan together. All right. Hope you have a great day, and see you on the next episode.